Hi, good morning, good evening to everyone. So, yeah, Shravank will join a bit late, or maybe she might skip because he's somewhere else. Yeah, fine. So let us get started. So, in the last session, we talked about the task flows. So, within that, we have seen what different pre-built task flows, like linear task flow, uh, parallel task with a decision, and sequential task with a decision, sequential task. I think those things we have seen it. So, but what we have not seen was how to build our own task flow from the scratch without using any pre-built templates. Yeah. So that's what we need to take a look at. Yeah. Fine. So let us see that. Yeah. So let's log in. Oh, oh my God. This server is not ready, huh? Agent is not ready. So we need to bring it up. Let us start. Yeah. Yeah, fine. So this will take time. So meantime, I will cover theoretical part. Yeah. The first thing here. So we all know that how to build a custom task flow or user-defined task flow from the scratch. Yeah. After that, I would talk about application integration, some of the theoretical points. You know, so that's a plan when it comes to theory. You know, so assignment task will be used in order to assign value to a variable. Remember that. For example, host name or customer ID, whatever. Data task will be used in order to call any data integration task. Now that task could be replication task or mapping task, synchronization task, any type of task. This particular step will be used in order to call application integration, what you call activities. For example, we have built a application integration flow. Now, so we need to make it available in the data integration. How do you do that? Using this particular step, we could achieve it, right? Next, we have got notification task, so which is going to help us in order to what we call send a mail to appropriate recipients. Now, we have got some command task. This is similar to Power Center command task, where we can have one or more commands which can be placed here so that they'll be executed what data from through some commands, whatever, right? That's where we use command task. And file watcher task will be used in order to wait for the file to be arrived based on the polling or specified time. So we got both the provisions, but so we need a license to perform this particular activity. Same thing is for ingestion task. We use it to take care of to process very mass, very large data sets. So yes, again we need to have separate license for it. So this we can execute it. So we can have n number of task flows, and one task flow can call another task flow. For example, in Power Center, you guys would have seen worklet, right? So we can have worklet within a workflow. Similarly, we can have one task flow within another task flow. So decision task will be used in order to build a condition. Based on the condition, so the request will be sent to either to plus side, which means yes or no. And second, parallel execution of multiple tasks at the same time. I think we have already done that in the last session. So gem task will be used in order to go back to the specific task in the task flow or specific step in the task flow. Because let us say there could be some cases where we need to perform repetitive operations. That's one thing. And second, let us say we have got a decision. And before decision, there is a task. Till we get what you call end of decision is what yes. If we get a no, what previous task, so that till it receives what yes as a result of this particular before decision task decision step, we can keep on repeating the procedure. So that's where jump step will be used. Simple. If you want to what you call iterate the same process time and again, then we go with what jump step. Yeah. Throw, I think we have seen that, like how to configure. So in case if you want to throw some error code along with some error message, reason, detail, then we go with what throw step. Then wait for the specific time. For example, let's say we got three tasks, and third task should be executed after completion of what second task. That's where wait step will be used, and step will be used to end this particular task flow. These are the what we call steps supported by task flow. Yeah. Now let us talk about what we call CAI. Yeah. Cloud application integration. Yeah. Let us get in there. The first and foremost thing. See, application integration will be used in order to make multiple applications to talk to each other. Yeah. Now, if you look at this particular presentation, where we can see what multiple patterns under enterprise cloud data management. Yeah. So, example, we have got a data integration, application integration, API management, integration hub, B2B. Yeah. Out of them, we are trying to focus on one, data integration to perform ETL operations. Second, application integration to make multiple applications to talk to each other to perform what we call availing the capabilities of what we have in third-party applications. And those applications could be standalone applications or portal applications. Fine. So, and API management, I'll try to talk about it, some high-level points about this. You see, if you want to manage, like create API, modify API, delete API, such kind of operations, we could do it by using what? API management. Yeah. So integration hub will be used to automate integrations at mixed latencies and eliminate point-to-point integrations. And then B2B will be used to automate secure data exchange across partner networks. Fine. So next we could see here, but out of multiple patterns that we have in this IACS, we are going to be focused on what, or we are going to focus on these two things, right? Next, we can think of some use cases where CAI will be used for, which is cloud application integration will be used for. Example, real-time data integration, where so we can make this particular what we call integration that can take place in real time by using what APIs and messaging. So which means we can build REST API or normal API, and we can also have messaging like triggers or alerts or events. So through which we can what we call send alerts. Based on the alerts, appropriate task would get executed. So that's where we use what the real time data propagation, right? Then we have got provide interactive access to data to users and applications via API enabled services data sources. See, ultimately, what we do here is if you want to talk to any application, there are two ways to talk. One, in an interactive mode, and second, in an automated way. These are the two ways through which we can talk to what other applications. So then we can see here supplement real-time data propagation of data sets with a cloud data integration for bulk processing. For example, let us say we need to start what we call take care of bulk processing. So then in that case, we can also take care in real time for what we call bulk processing as well. But usually for bulk processing, this batch is recommended, but real time also there is a provision to get it done, right? So that's a real time data propagation. Just to summarize, so using API and application integration, we could able to achieve real time, one data integration and real time, second data propagation using API and messaging, right? So that's it. So messaging is just for alerts, API is for availing some capabilities. That's it. Next, we have got API creation and management, where we could able to say create composite service and data APIs exposed at REST, SOAP, or OData services. Yeah. So remember, so we can create a simple service, yeah, and so that we could able to get the job done. We can also create our own service based on what? One of these protocols, REST protocol, which is going to be representation state transfer protocol, which is a REST, and second SOAP, standard object access protocol or adapter protocol, through which we can talk to SOAP based applications. Yeah. And OData services. OData means open data services, where you will have access to third party services based on what? OData authentication or OAuth we call. Yeah, open authentication. Yeah. So OData based services also we can interact. Yeah. So expose managed APIs to partners, customers, and internal consumers. Yeah. So which means let us say you have built an API through which we can now make it get exposed to multiple partners, customers, internal consumers. Because let us say you have built API. How do you make it available to others? One, we can do it by deploy, and second, we can do it by publishing it. Publishing means we are trying to make it available to the public or specific people where we can just provide a URL or some other form where they can just supply that link and then supply authentication details. Based on that, they could able to avail the API created by ourselves. So that's one way. And second, we can also get other APIs. For example, there could be some other exposed APIs given by other vendors or suppliers or partners or customers or end user or whosoever. But we, as a solution provider from IICS, need to know like how to what I call avail such capabilities. So that's where we use what API. So API is one of the major thing in this particular IICS because through API, one we can access others through API, other application through API, like a FedEx we can access through API, or any portal application we can access through API. Similarly, we can also create, we in the sense IICS solution provider, we can also create an API and make it available to what others to get it accessible. Yeah. So obtain visibility and control of the use of APIs. So I think I talked about it. Then process automation. Remember, let us say you have built n number of activities. Now, can we automate them so that things will happen in a short time or automatically? Answer is yes. Which means we can build an application and get it called in a scheduled manner so that based on the scheduled date and time, application would get executed. And business processes, so we can see business processes that span across applications and clouds. So, like for example, we can build a process. And process contains set of tasks, and those set of tasks can be automated. To meet any business demands. So that's where business process would come in. Where do we do that? CAI, Cloud Application Integration. Remember, So which can be used, this automated applications or automated process, which can be used across other set of applications and clouds. For example, we build a process flow, which can be used in Salesforce. Simple example, which means IACS process flow is being used in what? Salesforce. Similarly, in Amazon, we can also use it. Likewise, you can think of many. Like a cloud, I gave one, and normal application, I gave one, right? So within Salesforce, we can use IACS process flow, and within Amazon, we can use IACS process flow. Next, we have got powered users with automated and guided workflows. So let us say we got a number of users. And then we can just automate the flows so that users, this is specified users or restricted users can access our automated workflows or guided work. Guided workflows means interactive mode. We build a workflow so that people can make use of this workflow in an interactive mode. That's where guided workflows would come in. Clear? So that's it. So that's about the use cases. Just to summarize, we can use this CAI to perform real-time data integration and data propagation. And second, we can also use AI to perform API creation and API management so that others also can make use of the APIs built by ourselves. And third, we can automate the activities that we do within this AI, which includes even data integration also. So those activities can be automated. One, fully automated. Second, we can also make it what? Interactive workflows, which means guided workflows means interactive workflows. Interactive means what? Based on the user input, subsequent process would get executed in the process flow. Yes. So next we can see CI architecture, where there are two parts over here. One we can see in the top portion, and second we can see the bottom portion, right? Yes or no? So let us say in the top portion, so we got SOAP, REST base, JSON, XML. These are all what I call different kinds of what I call protocols or access specifiers that we use to access either application, data, or services, right? So that's what we can see as part of this particular Informatica agent process, right? And in the bottom, we can also see Informatica Cloud process, where we can get it through multiple protocols through API gateway and get it accessible. Then, then this guy, API and application integration, will act as a mediator between what? One Informatica agent process, second Informatica Cloud process. Yeah? So which means you can say that this is a one layer and another layer. This is one application, this is another application. We are trying to make them to talk to each other by using what application integration. That is the main motto of this particular app integration. This is one application, this is another application, and we are trying to make them to talk by using what? Application integration microservice offered by Informatica. Remember that. Yeah. So that's it about the architecture part. Yeah. So let us see whether the server is ready or not. Agent. Yes, it is ready. So now let us try getting into building the task flow. Okay. So every task flow will have what? Start step and end step. I repeat, every task flow will have the start step and end step. Yeah. So now let us start giving the name of the task flow, which is task flow generic. Yeah. So that's it. Now, in case if you have API, we can also give API name and supply the location where you want to store it. Yeah. So next, we can also see what we call the binding, which protocol that we use. So protocol for access data, this is for messaging, which is events or triggers. So we use that binding. Then we have got input fields where we can add n number of input fields in case if it requires any task, right? We can just add them. Similarly, output fields also. Temporary fields for manipulation and advanced options will be used for like notification and also error handling. For example, skip if running and suspend in case of faults, then send email on suspension. So you can specify email ID, CC subject, and body. In this particular body, where you can just write any kind of text. Plus, can you see here? We can also insert a link if you want to insert. If you don't want, you can remove the link. References like attaching documents, whatever, right? Using these links also, we could do it. Yeah. So now the next step is what? Let us start calling one data task. Yeah. So where we can just what do you call any task from data integration. Let's see. So let us say we are calling this. Yeah. So let us start with this, which means task flow with a simple data task. Yeah. So let's run this. Okay, so let us try to refresh. Yes, it is successful. Now, once you run it from here, right, automatically this particular, see, we got the result in this here. There was just now it got completed, right? So that's it. So which means within this task we are trying to call one of the tasks built as part of what task assets, right? Now let's go back to this and start adding one more here. We'll go one by one. Yeah. So which means we can call multiple tasks in a sequence. Yeah. Earlier we have used templates. Now we are doing it by ourselves. So here also same thing. For any data task, we can supply this. And can you see output fields? We are going to get the result for all the output fields. Like what is the run ID, log ID, task ID, task status successor for failure, source successful, like how many nodes have been read from the source, then failed ones, why, what or not read, success target rows, failed targets, like how many got transferred successfully, how many not, the start date and time, end date and time. In case if any errors, you can see error message, and total transformation errors you can see. First error code also you can see. Then input fields, if this task requires some input fields, we can just add it. Similarly, events and error handling. Like for example, so on warning, ignore or suspend, we can specify here. On error, suspend, or we can also have custom error handling. Yeah. So or we can just ignore it. Fail task flow on completion. If this task fails, fail. Like see, these things we also have it as part of what power center also. Yeah. So concept is same here also. Yeah. And yes, if you want, you can specify not this one, right? So we need to specify data task. So let us see here. So yes, we have already specified. Yeah. Let's run it. Yeah. This is the second task. Within the task flow, we are just applying and running them in a sequence, which means one after another, right? So after that, we'll start getting into what other tasks. See, we have done it with some templates. Now we are trying to do it by ourselves, without using any template. Yes, let us try to refresh this. See, we got two tasks now. Yeah, so both are successful anyway. So we can see yet green tick mark, right? So first data task, here we can see the input data task name here, this one, and input fields not. So these are the pre-built ones, but we have not given user defined input fields. Then we can see the output fields like success rows, target and source. And then if you have any errors, we can see error message and first error code, right? So next, same thing. We can have it for what? Every task, input fields and also output fields. So task status is what successful. Now let us start getting into the next step where let's focus on others. This we cannot call because we have not done any activity within this app integration, right? Now, notification task where we can just send out an email over here, right? For example, So we can specify with a parameterized, or we can also specify the mail ID. Yeah. So example is this. Yeah. And subject, let's say test notification task. Yeah. Notification step. Yeah. And then email content tab, a plain text or HTML. Here we can see, here we can also build a formula field, and if you want edit content, we can do it. Yeah. So we can also specify what we call link URL to attach. Yeah. So for example, we can place this file in some cloud and supply the link so that they can access. This way we can just attach. Yeah. So next, yeah, let us see this first. We should get a mail. Yeah, so let us refresh this. Fine, it is successful. So now we expect mail. See, we got it. See, so we gave subject as what? Test notification step. Yes or no? So we got it. So content we have not kept it anything. That's why it's empty. It's over. Now let us start getting into what if you want to supply commands. So that also you can do it. So next, so file watcher waiting for file to be arrived. So this we don't have a license, as I just said. So we need to build a task for it, which is component, part of component. uh, Then if you want to call some other task flow, if we already have it, you can just call it. I don't know whether we have it. Yes, we have it. Yesterday templates we have built it. Then that is straightforward. Next, we can see decision. I think that also we discussed. Based on the status of pre-built task, we can just call this. Yeah, let's say out parameters where we have got success target rows. Yeah, so here if it is a greater than equal to 1, right? Yeah, we can specify. Yeah, so that here based on this condition we can execute some other task. Yeah, or we can also what throw error message or wait for some time, whatever you want, right? We can do it. So wait for some 1 minute or 1 second, whatever, right? Then otherwise, also we can call, let's say throw. We can throw error message. Yeah. So code some code here, and then detail unexpected. Yeah. Then reason is what, let's say, wrong status. Okay, so that's it. Yeah. Now here we introduce what decision, right? To just go here. That's it. See whether which path of execution that has been taken place over here. Let's run it. See, it got failed. So what is error here? So zero node selected where single node is required for process ID. Create X path or disable selection failure process properties. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see here? So we got this particular sub task log got failed. Yeah. So input fields nothing, output fields nothing because this is failed here. It did not proceed further. See here, this is not gone there. This is also not gone there. So that's it. Yeah. So now let us go back to this and here we can see what with a decision, like which path that it has been taken place. So which means we need the separate node to execute because that has been created with one agent, let us say. If that agent is not ready, you'll get to see these kinds of errors. Yeah. So which means we need to make sure that the node should be ready and corresponding agent should be ready. Then we can call that sub task flow within this top level task flow, or else it won't get executed. Yeah. So if the agent is not ready, right, in a specified node, then it won't work like what we got the message. So which means agent should be there and corresponding node also should be up and running. Then only we can execute what subtask flow. Yeah. So that's all. Now let us try to refresh. See, it is successful. Yeah. So now the next question. So we can see the path of execution. Let's go back to this and click on this. See, path of execution is what greater than. You can see, right? Green tick mark. It is going here, here green tick mark, ended. It didn't come here. Yeah. Fine. The next step is what? So we can start adding some more things. For example, weight, I think we discussed. I think more or less we covered. Yeah, once it comes here, we can also jump. There's a jump step, right? So where we can just add it here. Instead of this, we can also specify, let us say, jump. Yeah. So it will keep on repeating. If you try to jump to this task, example, data task 2, example, right? Or decision, or data task 2. So this one, it will keep on getting executed unless it throws some error message. Yeah. In that case, we can use what? Jump step. Or we can also have a counter if the counter reaches 5 or 10 or whatever, right? In that case also we can use that. Yeah. Now let us save and run it. So now we have to stop it manually, or else it will keep on getting executed because jump, right? Let us see. It will be running always because data task 2 will never throw any error message in this case. So it's indefinite execution would take place in this particular task flow. Yeah. Yeah, I one thing. So this is the effect of jump step, which means what? Perform repetitive operations will be achieved by using what? Jump step here. Yeah. So that's what we can see, right? Jump step, control comes back to data task 2. It will keep on getting repeated here. Yeah. So if you go and check the status, see, it will be up and running always. See, now 5 tasks. Though we got only, see, the task count would keep on getting increased because it will be running always. Yeah. Till we manually abort, or if data task to return some error message. One of them should take place to come out from this particular. See, one more task. So it will keep on getting executed. For example, if it's just a suspend, you can do that. Then it will be stopped, suspended. So, so this is what happens when it comes to this particular execution. Can you see here the path of execution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it repeats by itself. So this is part of a loop. We can say indefinite loop. Yeah. Which one? Data task to notification task, decision. Till this, they're all part of what? Indefinite loop. And if you go and look at, you will have mails. See here how many times we got mail. So we can see here. See multiple n number of times. See, right? Which means for this many number of times it got executed. Remember that. Yeah. So that's it about task flow. Yeah. So now let us start getting into app integration. So before app integration, right? Let me cover some what do you call? I think I covered maplet, right? Yes or no? Let me cover this maplet. Yes. So maplet we can get it from what power center through PC import we can get it. Second, we can also build it by ourselves over here with transformation or without a set of transformations. Yeah. For example, let's say we got input and output block where we can just add any number of inputs. Yeah. So, for example, let's say we're adding C1. Yeah. So then any number of inputs, any column name can be given. And then we can also add any number of outputs. So example, let's say C1 out. Yeah. So that's it. Next, we can perform the field mapping between these two. Yeah. C1 get connected to C1 out. That's it. So this is what we need to do as part of the maplet, where we can see maplet Simple, straight through, right? Source and target. Source has got one port, target has got one output port. That's all we are trying to do over here, right? Now, let us try to build a mapping and see whether we could able. Oh, sorry guys, there is some power cut, so I have switched the network. Let me reshare this. Yes, I think now you could able to see my desktop, right? So we built a maplet, right? Now, so we need to know how to make use of it within this top level map. Yeah. So this way we can just call and supply the maplet over here, right? So click on select. See, there's only one maplet. So simple straight through maplet. So now we can map source to maplet, maplet to target. Yeah, that's all. Now let's configure the source. Yeah, yeah. Let's say we have source file connection. Select. Yeah, supply any source. Yes. Now we need to map this source to maplet. For that, we need to go to field mapping. See C1 from source. We are mapping to what C1 in a maplet. That's it. This is just an example like how to build a maplet, how to use it within the mapping. So within a maplet, we can have set of transformations like lookup or stored procedure or something else. So maplet usage. So mapping, maplet, yes, sample, right? Yeah. Now let us run this. Yeah. Some monitored jobs. Yeah. Okay. So now let us refresh this. See, all the 9 rows got processed because it's simple straight through map right? So we have not done any manipulation. If you have used any look, see, only C1 column data mapped within this map right? Likewise, you can build any logic in the map so that we can see the effect of reusability. See, main goal of this map is what? Reuse, right? So we can build a common logic so that anybody can make those up. So for example, we have used this in one mapping. We can use it wherever you want, which means other mappings also. That's what I meant. Yeah. So that's about data integration stuff. Now, so we need to start getting into what another topic, which is going to be application integration. Yeah. I think I talked about theory, right? Like use cases we discussed, like real-time data propagation, and also we talked about process automation. Yeah. So, and also we talked about guided workflows and automated workflows. In the sense, we can make what we call this, or we can make use of app integration to serve real-time data integration plus uh, what you call automation stuff. Yeah? So, which is not possible by using what data integration. So that is why we should think of getting into what application integration. Yeah. It has been designed for that purpose only. In a sense, automate and make multiple applications to interact with each other. That's the main goal of this. Yeah. So this is a dashboard where we can see create a process if you want. We can create and use as a receipt, create service connector, create a process and guide application, app connection, human task, whatever. So these are the what dashboard elements. We have not done anything. That's why assets, number of assets, all zero, and projects all zero. We have not done anything. We have just gotten here. We just gotten right. Now, if you want to create a process, you can just click on it, or we can click on new and start getting into creation of a process flow. Example, create a process. Yeah. Process means calling n number of activities and make it available to others. That's all, nothing else. Others means we can publish so that from outside also we can access it. That's what is meant by simple process. For example, process, let's say start. Yeah. And here, so we need to have the invoker over here. For example, if you maximize it here, we can just run it in the cloud server by using what? anonymous access. If you don't do that, it won't work. Let us say the invalid case. Then we can go to valid case. And for data case, we can use REST or SOAP protocol. And for messaging, we use this event. Yeah. So end step, let us say end flow. Yeah. End process flow. So that's it. And then by default, HTTP status is 200, which indicates what? Okay. Yeah. Now let us say and publish. Can you see publish? Publish means what? We are trying to make this particular process for available to others through what? URL. Can you see? We can get URL from this property details. See here, no service URL because we have not selected access. See here, add allowed users or groups or anonymous access. So that we can access it by using SOAP URL or service URL. Now let us go and change that. So we need to use either this or we need to add group and corresponding user access. One of them should be done. That's what is meant by that message. That's invalid case. Now, if you go and look at properties details, can you see here? Now we got service URL, SOAP URL. So within this service URL, we can just Swagger. Swagger is a REST specification, guys. REST means what? Proportional state transfer. For example, let us say, so we need to access third-party portal application within IICS. To do that, so we have to have a structure associated to any REST-based application. So where do you have structure? In a Swagger file. Can you see here? So this is where you can see Swagger specification, origin, info, all that. Then the URL that we use, our cloud URL, right? Then base path. So which means this by default, this particular IACS application integration would make use of what? Inbuilt workflow engine, which we call BPEL. BPEL means business process execution language. Remember, which means the workflow engine would work based on this particular language. And then it is making use of HTTPS protocol because when you say this service URL, this happens through what? HTTPS protocol. If you go to SOAP, then it is different, which is you'll see SOAP here. Now we can see our process name we give this, and within that we are using our post message. So where we specified what uh, end process flow for end step in case if HTTP response is what 200. And now definitions here we can see the structure. So in our process flow it is empty. It doesn't have any structure. That's why we can say empty here. Now if we try to execute this particular URL, can you see if we copy this URL and execute it so that it will be successful. Where do you execute it? We can execute it in a browser. Browser is what? Separate application, right? It is not ISCS. So if you could able to get status, see status is empty, which means what everything is successful. Plus, we can also get it executed in a postman. Postman is also some other application within which others, in the sense, through URLs, we could able to make accessible over here. Let us see that. Yeah. So here we can just copy and paste. So, see, so here it's empty, which means what everything is successful. We don't have any error message. That's it. This is a starting point, guys. like how one can invoke this particular application. That's what we talked about as part of use cases, right? Process automation, or guided workflows, or real-time data propagation. Yes, sir, we talked about, right? Now we are trying to make this particular application, which is, see, this is a process flow, right? Then, so we made it available through publish. So public can access this through some other application. One application which we used was Chrome, Google Chrome. Other application that we used was Postman, which indicates what? We are trying to make multiple applications to talk to each other within itself, which means within IACS. Second, we can also make this complete process flow, which will be converted to API. API means URL, and that URL we just separate here, so that in Google Chrome is talking to what? IACS. That's what it means here. Yeah. So this way we can make interaction of application within IACS, and we can also make it accessible outside IACS also. So this simple example to understand app to app integration. Fine. So with this, we'll stop for the day. We'll continue from here tomorrow. If you have any questions, Ajit, Sravant, and Venkat, you can shout out.
I'm good. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. So thanks, Venkat. So yeah, thanks, Ajit. Thanks, Ravanti, and bye. So
Thank you.
make, yeah, you play the recording. So we'll upload the recordings. I think you have recordings, right? All Venkat, Ajit, and Ravanti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, play them. So we'll meet tomorrow. Huh? Thanks to all, and bye.